Lay police looking at drones for help.
So it'll take aerial footage.
DPM launches property management system.
They've not been properly managed.
And PNG Defence Force focuses on border patrols.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Friday's news. Lay police will begin using a drone starting today as they seek solutions to improve policing with limited resources. Late yesterday, the drone was tested in the presence of the Lay Metropolitan Superintendent Anthony Wagambi. The use of the drone has come about as a result of a partnership between Lay Police and security firm ESS, whose owner John Rosso is a reserve chief sergeant in the RPNGC.
It's a small consumer device that is expected to drastically improve policing in Lay, a city that has seen a marked increase in the number of stolen vehicles and armed robberies.
So the drone will also be used to locate stolen motor vehicles. So it'll take aerial footage. It will allow us to find the locations of those vehicles and send police units to those areas quickly.
The device is expected to significantly improve the ability of the police to conduct aerial surveillance and assessment missions over a wider radius with minimal use of vehicles and manpower.
Say along the back road, we would use it to patrol the back road and just look around there and see if anything's happening. Or certain places which we will take us time to go to, the drone can be used to go there and get aerial footage for us.
The use of the drone takes policing to a whole different level. About 20 years ago, the RPNGC began employing the concept of the eye in the sky, a police helicopter used for surveillance and transportation. It cost the government several millions to buy the chopper and to maintain it. But devices like this cost a minimum of 5,000 kina with negligible maintenance costs. The use of the drone has come through a partnership with Lay-based security firm Executive Security Systems, whose owner John Rosso is a long-serving reserve chief sergeant in the RPNGC.
Putting the effort just on the police to do everything, it's not a solution for the problems.
The drone will be used for surveillance during the Morobe show next week, when more than 100,000 people are expected to arrive in Lay. Scott Waide, National EMTV News, Lay.
This year alone, Lay City has witnessed 20 reported armed robberies. In a space of 8 weeks, 4 business houses were robbed at gunpoint. Pelgans and Lay International Hotel were both robbed on September 19th. Both crimes saw criminals get away in a waiting vehicle. Lay police believe these robberies are well planned and executed by experienced criminals.
Earlier this year, Raumai's supermarket at the market area, Zmart and Sitokui were robbed. Criminals armed with weapons attacked company employees and escaped with large sums of money. Most of these suspects involved are still at large. The increase in robberies has become a concern.
We are monitoring the trend of crime here, but we need information from the public. Previously, information used to come in freely, but now because people within the community, it's affected. Most of them in the settlements and the areas, they're benefiting from crime.
The senior manager for Executive Security System, or ESS, firm believes the problem needs a community effort to deal with the increase in armed holdups. Neil Hillary says criminals are now becoming a lot more organized in their efforts. Ellery believes that it is a moral duty for companies based in Lay to think of how they should help police as well, as police would not be able to do everything to solve the problem.
Lay police have re-strategized to help improve their response time and help deter crimes from happening. The city has been divided into 4 zones, each with its own police vehicle. Lay Metropolitan Superintendent Anthony Wagambi said the sector patrol will cost less than 500,000 kina. Mata Luis, National EMTV News, Lay.
A grade 10 student at Lay's Bumayong Secondary School was killed during a school fight that broke out at about 10 a.m. this morning. Police say the male student was stabbed several times and was rushed to the Engau hospital but died. Meanwhile, a number of other students also sustained injuries. Leh Metropolitan Commander Chief Superintendent Anthony Wagambi says police were informed and had proceeded to disperse the students. Police are still maintaining a physical presence at the school. The murder is now being investigated by the Criminal Investigation Division. Correctional Services Minister Jim Simatab has apologized to CES Commissioner Michael Waipo for the impasse that occurred between his office and the Office of the Commissioner. The impasse was a result of an NEC decision in February to terminate Waipo as CS Commissioner with the appointment of a new acting commissioner. Simatab said he regretted the impasse and told CS officers that Waipo is the current CS Commissioner and urged the officers to work with Waipo. Simatab then accepted Waipo's invitation to have lunch with CS officers.
Simatab made the remarks during the closing of a planning workshop between provincial jail commanders and assistant commissioners this morning. He said while it may seem as he had some personal vendetta against the commissioner, those rumors were untrue and the decision to change Waipo was a collective decision by the NEC.
Although I am the Correctional Service Portfolio Minister, and the recent changes in the new Public Service Management Act in 2014 means that I am just one member of in a cabinet. The Prime Minister is always at the helm of the NEC.
In February, the NEC terminated Waipo's contract as commissioner on grounds that he was not performing his duties to expected standards. Bernard Nepo, the CS Training College commandant, was appointed commissioner, and that resulted in a standoff between CS officers in Port Moresby. The matter was challenged in court, and the National Court in Port Moresby reinstated Waipo as commissioner after it found that the process used in appointing Nepo was abused. This morning, Simatab told CS personnel that he regretted the impasse and asked them to support Waipo in the operations of the department.
I do regret the impasse that has existed between my office and the Office of the Commissioner and the Ministry, and hereby reaffirm that Mr. Waipo is currently the appointed head of the Papua New Guinea Correctional Service.
Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Patrols along the PNG Indonesia border are continuing despite funding constraints. Speaking to EMTV today, Chief of Joint Operations Colonel Ezekiel Wenzel said they are determined to complete all planned operations for this year.
The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has scheduled 6 operations along the border for this year. However, due to funding constraints, these operations could not be carried out until the later part of this year.
There needs to be sustained funding. As we have experienced in the current economic downturn, funding is basically trickling down. And particularly for the PNG Defence Force, where you have a lot of assets, lift capabilities as part of our logistics to support the operation, it requires a lot of funding.
The lack of PNG government presence along the PNG-Indonesia border is a cause for concern, as it leaves PNG vulnerable to illegal smuggling of goods into the country. With the national elections next year and APEC 2018, maintaining a strong government presence along the border is critical.
We need to completely shut those borders up to deter weapons, illegal arms, smuggling of illegal arms across into Papua New Guinea, arms and ammunition alike. So this effort, it will be a continuous one, both for the national elections and into the APEC in 2018 and beyond.
The first 2 operations in Sundown and Western provinces were carried out from late September to early October. Colonel Wenzel was part of the team that was in the Sundown province.
I would like to convey my sincere, appreciation on behalf of the Commander PNG Defence Force to the people of Sundown, the governor and the people of Sundown, political leaders of Sundown province, who from since many years ago, have started supporting the Papua New Guinea Defence Force.
4 more operations are planned to be carried out before the end of this year, 2 of which will involve other government agencies such as Customs. Sarah Aupong, National EMTV News.
The Department of Personnel Management launched its property management database system today. Secretary for DPM John Kali said the introduction of this system is in compliance with the department's corporate plan. A part of that plan is to monitor and improve public service institutional housing and in turn boost public service performance.
Present at the launch were representatives from other government departments, including those from the Office of Government and Public Service Housing. Chris Kabauru, Director for the Office of Government and Public Service Housing, said the system is for the better management of the 24-unit residence known as Devon Lodge, owned by the DPM.
Digital is reshaping the world. We can use new technology to completely redesign how we serve our citizens, delivering services that are cheaper, faster, and more accessible and more secure.
The new property database system contains information about current tenants, and it also makes it easy for the selection committee to view applications for new tenants. It includes the number of dependents, year of service, and other relevant information.
Department of Personnel Management manages those institutional houses. So we are developing this template, which we want to distribute to all the government departments and all the public authorities, National Airports Corporation, if you have institutional houses, or Department of National Education, Department of Education, Department of Health. I know you have institutional housing, but they've been run down because they have not been properly maintained, they have not been properly managed. Therefore, those institutional housing has been run down. We are now giving you the opportunity to sign up with us, and we will help you with this new system to be able to properly manage your properties.
Mr. Kabauru said government has over the years spent billions of kina on office and housing. From this, a lot has gone to waste, required maintenance, and even become rundown over the past 41 years. He said today's event marked a new wave of public service reforms where the focus is to bring change to the way government institutions manages its property and institutional housing portfolio nationwide. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
Lay MP calls on the national government to fix an important road network, plans for a world-class simulator at the Maritime College and improving services in Mulbaya district. We'll bring you the details after the break. Welcome back. Lay MP Lujaya Koza has called on the national government to fix the Milford Haven Road. She says big companies that pay tax are situated along the main road that goes to the Lay's main wharf.
The Milford Haven Road helps contribute billions of kina into government coffers. Containers going up to oil, gas and mineral projects in the highlands, as well as imports and export containers for retailers and manufacturers pass on the road from the main wharf. But in the last 10 years, the road has been neglected and allowed to deteriorate.
Because you have in Port Moresby right now, we have every little road, Ligligan Road, Tansut, Wanamap, and they've been funded, and the pricing is really overpriced, but the roads are being sealed, broken up again, resealed in Moresby. Okay, so they got the money for that. Milford Haven is a national road. The road from Bumayong cutting through past Igam down to Unitec, that is a national road as well.
Today, Lay MP Lujaya Koza called for immediate funding for the Milford Haven Road, as well as the Independence Drive past Unitec. She says both roads need to be fixed without any more delays in contract agreements.
We have 3 already shortlisted developers for those roads. We've got Deccanai, we've got Shorncliffe, and we've got East-West. Okay, what's the problem now? If we cut that size of road up into 3 parts, that's possible, and fund it. If we award one of them, that's a possibility, but I believe very strongly, looking at the pattern in Port Moresby, I'm saying the problem is that these 3 companies that are shortlisted, the delay is maybe they haven't yet agreed to the terms of doing those roads with the government.
Credit can be given to the national government for the transformation of the lay roads over the last 5 years. The national government allocated over 500 million kina to fix main roads, but there are still patches like the Milford Haven Road that has received much attention because of the role it plays in the business operations happening around Lay City. Bethany Harriman, National MTV News, Lay.
The groundbreaking ceremony of a world-class simulator laboratory coincided with the official launching of 3 new staff houses at the PNG Maritime College in Madang today. Working in partnership was the Minister for Higher Education, Francis Marus, who launched the new staff houses, and the Minister for Transport, Malakai Tabar, who launched the Navigation Bridge Simulator project. Rachel Shise reports.
This groundbreaking ceremony of the Navigation Bridge Simulator Laboratory and the launching of the 3 new staff houses projects makes this the first time for the PNG Maritime College to be a recipient of the government-sponsored public investments program. The 3 staff houses totals to 1 million kina, and the simulator laboratory will be to the tune of 15 million kina when fully equipped. The Minister for Higher Education, Francis Maru, said supporting the college is a step in the right direction for the government in achieving quality and equity given the 2050 medium-term development strategy.
Today's occasion is an example of the support of the O'Neill Dion government for higher education and in particular infrastructure development. In the long run, this will contribute towards increasing access to and improving the quality of higher and technical education.
The Minister for Transport, Malakai Tabar, says Maritime College has been neglected for years and should now be given prominence by the government through the Department of Higher Education.
It is important that the Department of Higher Education takes charge of the academic programs, even the accounting, and a whole lot of things, just like every other institution in this country.
Captain Dabung Kiong, principal of the college, stressed that the much-needed changes are global demands in the shipping industry.
PNGMC, without doubt, need government help and support for infrastructure development, recurrent expenditure, and improved terms and conditions for its staff, and they all play a critical part in advancement and achievement of its goals and objectives into the future.
The provincial administrator, Daniel Aloy, on behalf of the provincial government, assured that the future of the college looks good given the developments in the province like the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone.
We stand ready to take those responsibilities that are supposed to be taken on by the provincial governments for and on behalf of national government here in the betterment of the Maritime College.
Rachel Shise, National MTV News, Madang.
Roads and bridges play an important role in bringing in services to communities. For the people of the Mulbaya district, they now have access to the main roads from their villages. This has also given them access to other services such as health and education.
Road access was once difficult for communities in the district because of the challenging geographical location. The road links begins from Paya Bridge in Baya that leads to an intersection which connects to the new Madang road link and another to Lumusa, which will also connect to another link to Kompiam in the Enga province.
We're going to seal this road now. The national government has helped us with the funding, and there's a construction company called Loma Constructions. They've been awarded the contract, so it's about 30 million kina worth of project, starting from Paya Bridge right down to Moka Bridge, past the old patrol post. So Moka Bridge is where the new Madang Road will connect now. From there, we will start building the Madang Road through the assistance of the Indian government.
Construction began last year and has seen major developments for the district. As the links have brought in road access for locals, transportation is now made possible for them who once have had not such access.
Here we build this road down to the Lai River. We've got bridges waiting now. Shortly we will bring them up and we'll build a bridge and connect these two provinces. Once that happens, the people of Hanga province on this end, that's Kompiom district, will have access to Mount Agan.
Olman se Karim coffee bag, Olkaike, go as far as Tinsley, housing staff, high school staff. Now go as far as Baya district lab site at Kota Stablem. Mi plus go find PNB lab. Now online, mi blog olagen kisimol Kaike about stock goods, come through also come through mi lab na then Karimol Kaike about walk about come walk at Laos. Mi plus overnight road. Time weather bagarap time, mipla section time. But now mipla amamas, also mipla silip Laos, PNB come turning close to Laos, do mipla.
With the road development, other infrastructures are also put in place. This includes a police station situated in the heart of the crossroads, schools and health centers. Marilyn Diaukatam, National, EMTV News.
Another story from Mulbaya. Farmers in the district are known for their vegetable produce, which are packaged and shipped. However, packaging and accessibility to markets are some of the issues that contribute to them making losses. Mulbaya District Development Authority CEO Mark Kumajua says they are working with the Western Highlands Provincial Government to probe into the agriculture sector.
This used to be an area in Western Highlands Province where large-scale agriculture was prominent. However, it stopped after past tribal conflicts. The Mulbaya DDA is now looking into agriculture to bring development into the area.
So we brought in an agriculture expert into the district from Australia, who is going to assist us to see what we can produce. Especially at the moment, you look at these vegetables that are produced. It's packaging and all that are not, it's an issue. They're growing, but then, market is another issue. They're taking him to Lae, Port Moresby, but on the way, we're losing bags and bags of cargo because they're not packed well. It's not cold processed, so it's all destroyed. So then it becomes expensive for the buyers as well, so sometimes they don't buy it when it gets to centers like Lae and Port Moresby. So these are issues we are trying to solve.
Mulbaya DDA CEO Mark Kumajua says they need to be able to produce a cash crop that has an international market and can be grown by local farmers. He said there must be crops for the cold climate and another variety of crops for the hot climate. Because of the geographical location, there are two different climates in the district.
So we're trying to look into these issues, like whether to build a cold processing facility in the district or we look for a market for the producers so that they sell, at least sell everything now.
13,000 hectares of state land has been allocated for agriculture in Baya. Part of this land at the moment is being used for growing choco. They have started trials with a small plantation and have set up a factory. Choco is mainly used for stock feed. However, a challenge with choco is that not many local farmers will be able to grow it because it needs a big land mass. Marilyn Diaukatam, National, EMTV News.
And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3155 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3080, $0.4031 Australian dollars, $0.2733 euro and 31.64 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold closed higher, while coffee, cocoa and copra closed the day lower. Copper closed lower, while palm oil and crude oil closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 12.53 points lower, the ASX is trading at 15.63 points lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 16.28 points lower. Among stories after the break, authorities secure land to build a prison facility in the Gulf province. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. A 15-year-old boy has become the only male participant to graduate from the SME Skills Training Workshop attended by 119 women. Alan Mino was encouraged by his aunt, also a participant, to join the group of women. The participants are now preparing for the Morbe show to showcase their skills.
These women from the IE local level government in Morbe graduated with certificate in 7 different skills. Some of these skills include sewing, jam making and floriculture. 15-year-old Alan Mino is the only male among 119 women who graduated.
So mi kalau mindset meeting mi kam bungon tol mama gona o minu sawa so. Mi plagon lo sampla ol training lo cookies corn o mama sama na make your flower, lo salim lo hotel, slakain. Me got big plan mama straight.
Young Mino says he joined the training because he wanted to change his mindset and do well in life. Leh District will assist these graduates to make available markets in order to sell the products. The member for Leh, Lujaya Koza, says individuals attending such trainings can still make a living during the current economic hardship.
And we're proving something in Leh that even though we have a downtime in the economy, if we can get our trainers together and train our women at a reduced price, we can still make a living in the downtime in the economy.
These participants are now preparing to showcase their skills during Morbe show next weekend. The famous Morbe ladies' blouse called Amba Seleng and Amba Kuku are some of these products that will be sold during the show. Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Southern Region Correctional Services Assistant Commissioner Henry Wavik says land has been allocated for a prison facility in Kerema, Gulf Province. A team of CS officers will survey the site later in the month before groundwork can begin. The initiative is to remand inmates from Gulf Province in Kerema rather than bring them to the Bomana prison in Port Moresby.
Gulf Province lacks a prison facility since the Correctional Services was established to detain and rehabilitate inmates. All convicts in Gulf have been detained at the Bomana jail. But because of the increase in convicts accommodated at Bomana, the CS department is looking at establishing prison facilities in other provinces as well. Thus, Kerema, Jiwaka and Pangia are jail projects the CS department is planning on building come 2017.
All the prisoners from the Gulf province has been incarcerated in Bomana. And we've realized over time that it costs a lot of money for the Gulf population to come and visit and do business with their prisoners here. And also they have not been supported by their political and their leaders over there.
The delay in setting up a prison facility in Gulf is a result of landowners refusing to give up their land. But after much discussion, land has been allocated to set up the state project.
The rural lockup is bringing correctional service right to where the people are in the district level. That's the concept, that's the idea, bringing correctional service to the people where they are. So in the southern region, I've got Misima and Morogwina.
The prison is part of the rural lockup project CS is engaging in with members of parliament to improve and make access to government services more accessible. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Members of the PNG's disciplinary forces have completed 3 weeks of capability training on how to deal with explosives in Port Moresby. This training was part of the Australian Defence Corporation and the Australian Federal Police effort to enhance security in the country.
A total of 20 disciplinary forces personnel comprised of 9 Defence Force, 8 police and 3 correctional service officers showcased 2 minutes of explosive drills prior to their certification. Officiating at the event were RPNGC Assistant Commissioner Operations David Manning, APEC AFP Coordinator Planning Superintendent Shane McKellen, and Australian Defence Force Corporation Lieutenant Colonel Campbell Payne.
Lieutenant Colonel Payne said this training is a joint effort by the Australian Defence Corporation and Australian Federal Police, facilitated purposely to train disciplinary forces in preparation for the country's international events.
So what you've seen today is a demonstration which is effectively the culmination of the basic search course conducted by an explosives contractor from Australia, explosive protective equipment, to help develop a capability, a national capability in Papua New Guinea amongst a combined force of military, constabulary and corrections officers.
EMTV arrived at the scene and saw a spectacular display by the participants trying to identify hidden explosives. The order of the display comes with the use of detective equipment to locating the explosive device, alerting members and retreating to safer zones. This training provides an avenue for the participants to provide security during the 2018 APEC Summit and the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. It was facilitated by one of Australia's top explosive device private military training company called Explosive Protective Equipment.
We provide search equipment, bomb disposal equipment to Australian police and military and to New Zealand as well. And we've been asked by APEC to come and help build up the Papua New Guinea capability to search so that they can provide a safe and secure environment for APEC and for events like FIFA next month.
Participants said this training also paves way for them to treat explosive situations in line of their duties.
We use mirrors and all these ones, field, building, all these stations we've done it, and like when you come across any bomb or anything that is required, you got to really confirm it before you let the whole real people to come and take it out.
Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.
The private sector plays a pivotal role in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. Papua New Guinea's business community and civil society have raised their hands to contribute to achieve 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which seeks to eliminate poverty, hunger, and address other pressing issues within the next 15 years.
2016 is touted as a year of change, with the United Nations, governments, civil societies, and the private sector coming together to implement the Sustainable Development Goals.
A successful sustainable development agenda requires partnerships between governments, the private sector, and civil society. These inclusive partnerships built upon principles and values, a shared vision, and shared goals that place people and the planet at the center are needed at the global, regional, national, and local level.
You know, the Sustainable Development Goals are about the 5 Ps: people, planet, prosperity, peace. But all of those first 4 Ps are sort of cemented by one bigger P in one way, which is partnership, because the realization is that nobody, no one institution or agency can achieve what is required to create a better world.
Urgent action is needed to mobilize, redirect, and unlock the transformative power of trillions of dollars of private resources to deliver on sustainable development objectives. Long-term investments, including foreign direct investment, are needed in critical sectors, especially in developing countries like Papua New Guinea. These include sustainable energy, infrastructure and transport, as well as information and communications technologies.
This thing cannot happen in Port Moresby alone. We have to create a movement for the whole nation. Together we can. And PNG and Mia, it starts with me.
Leon Jarari, National EMTV News.
Up next, PNG International Rugby League export Kato Otio hopes to recover in time for the Rugby League World Cup. That's in Trukai Sports after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. PNG International Rugby League player Kato Otio will be out for half the year next season due to a knee injury. With the Rugby League World Cup to be played a few months after his recovery, he has set his goal on working hard to make the Commonwealth World Cup team.
He says he will work on his rehabilitation and hopefully recover in time to get back on the field with the team.
6 to 7 months. I think I'll be ready by next year, June or July.
His selection into the Commonwealth World Cup team will be difficult, having had to work extra hard in a short period of time to make the team. He says he's more concentrated on getting his knee fixed than thinking about the World Cup.
Just focus on my rehab and all that, and hopefully get better by the time the physio and the doctors want it to be.
His 2-year contract with the Mounties will end next year, but Otio remains positive he will be given a new contract.
Next year will be my last year, but I know that I'll try my best. Not try my best, but I believe I'll still get a contract again. But I'll just that's plan B. I'm up for plan A.
He also congratulated SP Hunters centre Justin Olam on his selection to the Melbourne Storm.
You know, NRL is tough, really tough. Like, you're gonna go down and you're gonna miss your family. The training too will be tough at the same time, but it's all up in your mind that you have to stay focused, stay grounded, and work hard. He's a really good fellow. He's a strong fellow, so I think he will go better. Yeah.
Elijah Levitt, National EMTV Sports.
Still in Rugby League, the Motu Koita Nines tournament continued with day 2 of competition. Tomorrow we'll see elimination rounds in the round-robin matches. All teams are hoping to progress to the next round. EMTV Sports caught up with 3 of the matches today.
With 9 minutes each way for all matches, Purpurnadiho's clash with Vabukori Blacks started off at a fast pace. First minute in and the Purpurna side secured a try with a runaway ball after an interception. And another try in the 5th minute when the Vabukori Blacks defenses broke. Both tries went unconverted. With 8 points for the Purpurna side, Vabukori Blacks responded with 2 touchdowns in the 6th and 7th minute. Conversions were also unsuccessful, and by halftime the scoreline was 8-all. In the second half, Purpurna did not waste time as they secured 6 points lead after a converted try. And just before full-time, another try from the Purpurna side, which went unconverted again, sealed the match at 18-8 in favor of the Purpurnadiho. And in other matches, Purpurna Brothers defeated Tatana Tigers 14-4. While Mahuru Eagles trashed Elevala Country 18-4. Dini Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
In volleyball, tomorrow will be the last round of preliminary finals before the grand final in the NCD competition. In the men's Premier Division, Edatech Scorpions are now set for the 2016 Premier Grand Final. Winner of the match between Vailima and Vanama tomorrow will face Scorpions. And in the Women's Premier, PTPSL Telecom is on standby for the Grand Final. Ella Motors and Vailima will vie for the remaining spot. While in the Women's A grade again, Telecom booked the first round final spot, and MJ Electrical and Vailima will face each tomorrow to decide who meets the Telecom in the Grand Final. Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. In basketball, with less than 5 months to the 7th BSP PNG Games in West New Britain, the Basketball Federation has organized technical officials to officiate at the Games. The Federation will also focus on junior players aged between 15 and 18 who can make the national side.
With the deferral of the PNG Games to March 18, 2017, Basketball PNG started their planning earlier this year to send its technical officials to officiate the Games. But with the deferral, Executive Officer Joel Kalu said this will give more time to the Federation to prepare well.
Yeah, look, we had a lot of work planned, prior when the
the games were due to be held in December. So look, we had a huge contingent of technical officials and coaches and things that we wanted to do with development as part of the PNG Games. Obviously that's now on I guess delayed until March next year.
He added following the success of the 2015 Pacific Games, the seniors national side will also be looked at to get them back into training in preparations for their international tournament.
Preparations are beginning for men's and women's senior teams to do some stuff next year. We may look at hosting men's and women's national all-star championships to select the best players for those squads. Hopefully have those men's and women's teams ready to go for their next major competitions, which will be the Melanesian Championships.
Meanwhile, he said more emphasis will be given to junior players for the next 3 years, where Basketball PNG will be working on their identification program, which will take place in Port Moresby. Mr. Kalu said this is due to financial constraints. The Federation is unable to travel around the country to scout talented young players. With Under-17 FIBA Oceania Championships to be held next year, national championships will be staged in Port Moresby in April to identify and select the best Under-17 squad before the Oceania Championships in July. Kalu said it is critical that national championships are held every year so that the best players are selected for the national junior team program. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
An emotional All Blacks halfback Aaron Smith fronted up briefly to speak to the media over a sexual allegation he's said to have been involved in at Christchurch Airport a month ago. Smith apologized to the media before leaving the team camp in Durban, South Africa.
I've made a huge mistake, a huge error in judgment. I'd firstly like to say a huge sorry to my partner Tegan, her family, my family. Also sorry to my teammates, NZAU and New Zealand fans. My behaviour is unacceptable, and if you could respect me and my partner in this situation. I'm just trying to get home to deal with this.
And that ends True Kai Sports. The weather details after the break.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
Looking at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow, in the southern region, fine and sunny in Port Moresby, Daru and Kerema, rain in Alotau and partly cloudy with chances of light rain in Popondetta. In the Momase region, cloudy with chances of light rain in Lae, chances of early morning rain in Medang and rain showers and thunderstorms in Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, rain showers and thunderstorms in Lorngau, Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, rain showers in Kimbe and fine and sunny in Buka. And in the Highlands region, cloudy periods with chances of light rain in all centres.
The weather details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield, with doing with Dulux.
Before we go, recapping our top stories for tonight. Lae Police looking at drones for help, DPM launches property management system, and the PNG Defence Force focuses on border patrols. And that's the way it is this Friday, the 7th of October 2016. From the entire news team, have a pleasant weekend. Good night.